You know what nobody talks about at the dinner table? The real science behind what happens in your body after you masturbate. And I'm not talking about myths or bro science. I'm talking about actual hormones, actual brain chemistry, and how it all connects to your energy levels, your motivation, and even your performance in daily life. So, if you've ever wondered why you feel tired afterward, or whether it's affecting your testosterone, or if doing it too much is actually draining your potential, stick around. Because today we're breaking down the biology, the hormones, and the truth that most people are too uncomfortable to discuss. Let's start with what actually happens inside your body the moment you reach orgasm. Your brain releases a cocktail of neurochemicals. We're talking dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and prolactin. Each one has a specific job. Dopamine is your reward chemical. It's what makes activities feel pleasurable and motivates you to repeat them. Oxytocin creates feelings of bonding and relaxation. Serotonin improves your mood and helps regulate anxiety. And then there's prolactin. This is the one most people don't know about, but it's crucial. Prolactin is the hormone responsible for that feeling of satisfaction and tiredness after orgasm. It literally signals to your body that you're done, and it suppresses dopamine temporarily. This is why you feel relaxed, sometimes even sleepy, right after. It's biology, not laziness. Now, let's talk testosterone, because this is where most of the confusion lives. People hear conflicting information all the time. Some say masturbation kills testosterone. Others say it has no effect. So what's the truth? Here's what the research actually shows. In the short term, testosterone can spike slightly during arousal and peak right around orgasm. But after ejaculation, testosterone levels don't just crash. They return to baseline relatively quickly, usually within an hour or so. However, prolactin stays elevated for a longer period, sometimes up to 2 weeks at lower levels, which is why some men report feeling less driven or aggressive immediately after. The key thing to understand is this: occasional masturbation does not significantly lower your testosterone long term. But here's where it gets interesting. If you're doing it multiple times a day, every single day, you're constantly triggering that prolactin release. And high prolactin over time can interfere with testosterone production and dopamine signaling. It's not that one session destroys your hormones, it's the chronic overstimulation that creates imbalance. Let's move to dopamine, because this is where things get more complicated and honestly more important for most guys. Dopamine is your brain's motivation and reward molecule. Every time you experience something pleasurable, whether it's eating good food, winning a game, or yes, having an orgasm, dopamine floods your brain. That dopamine hit feels amazing. But here's the problem. Your brain is incredibly adaptive. If you keep flooding it with dopamine from the same source over and over again, especially in a very easy, no effort way, your brain starts to downregulate its dopamine receptors. Think of it like turning down the volume. You need more stimulation to get the same feeling. This is called desensitization. And when your dopamine system gets desensitized, everyday activities that used to feel rewarding, like working on a project, talking to people, exercising, they start to feel dull and unrewarding. You lose motivation. You feel flat. And the only thing that gives you that quick dopamine spike is going back to the same habit. This isn't unique to masturbation. It happens with junk food, social media, video games, anything that gives you easy dopamine. But because sexual stimulation is one of the most powerful dopamine triggers we have, it's especially prone to this effect when it's overused. So what does this mean practically? If you're masturbating once or twice a week, your dopamine system is probably fine. Your brain has time to reset. Receptors stay healthy. Motivation stays intact. But if you're doing it daily or multiple times a day, especially with highly stimulating content, you're training your brain to expect that massive dopamine rush regularly. And when real life doesn't provide that same intensity, it feels boring by comparison. This is why some guys report feeling less motivated, less social, more anxious, or even experiencing brain fog when they're stuck in a cycle of excessive use. It's not moral failure, it's neurochemistry. Now let's address energy. A lot of guys notice they feel physically drained after masturbating. Is that real or is it in their head? It's real, and here's why. Orgasm and ejaculation require energy. Your body is doing work. Your heart rate increases, your muscles contract, and you're burning calories. Not a ton, but some. More importantly, ejaculation involves the loss of nutrients. Semen contains zinc, magnesium, protein, and other nutrients that your body has to replenish. If you're doing this frequently and not eating well or sleeping enough, you're essentially running a deficit. On top of that, the prolactin surge that happens after orgasm actively promotes relaxation and sleepiness. That's why many people use masturbation as a sleep aid. It works because your body is biochemically wired to feel calm and tired afterward. So if you're masturbating in the morning or during the day and then wondering why you feel sluggish, that's your answer. You've essentially told your body it's time to rest. But here's the nuance. Not everyone feels drained. Some people feel energized or neutral. This comes down to individual physiology, frequency, overall health, and stress levels. If you're well rested, well nourished, and only doing it occasionally, the impact on your energy is minimal. But if you're sleep deprived, stressed, eating poorly, and masturbating multiple times a day, you're going to feel it. Your body doesn't have infinite resources. Let's talk about the benefits because it's not all negative. Masturbation does have legitimate health benefits when done in moderation. It reduces stress by triggering those feel-good hormones like oxytocin and serotonin. It helps some people fall asleep faster because of the prolactin release. It can improve mood temporarily. And for men specifically, regular ejaculation has been associated with better prostate health. Some studies suggest that men who ejaculate more frequently have a lower risk of prostate cancer later in life. The mechanism isn't fully understood, but it may involve clearing out old cells and fluids. It's also a safe way to explore your own body and understand your sexual response without any risk of STIs or unwanted pregnancy. So let's be clear. Masturbation itself is not inherently bad or unhealthy. The issue is excess and compulsion. So where's the line? How much is too much? There's no universal number because everyone's biology is different. But here's a helpful framework. Ask yourself these questions. Do you feel like you have control over the habit, or does it feel compulsive? Are you doing it out of boredom, stress, or habit rather than actual desire? Is it interfering with your responsibilities, relationships, or sleep? Do you feel physically drained, mentally foggy, or less motivated afterward? Are you using increasingly extreme content to get the same feeling? If you answered yes to several of these, it's worth taking a step back and reassessing your relationship with the habit. Here's what a balanced approach looks like. First, be intentional. Instead of doing it mindlessly out of boredom or routine, do it when you actually feel desire. Second, limit the frequency. For most people, a few times a week is a sweet spot that allows you to enjoy the benefits without tipping into overuse. Third, avoid doing it first thing in the morning if you want to feel energized and motivated during the day. Save it for the evening when that relaxation effect actually serves you. Fourth, pay attention to content. If you're relying on highly stimulating material to get aroused, that's a red flag for dopamine desensitization. Try dialing it back. Fifth, take breaks. A week or two off every now and then can help reset your dopamine system and give you clarity on whether the habit is serving you or controlling you. Now let's talk about performance, because this affects gym performance, work performance, and yes, sexual performance with a partner. Some guys report feeling weaker in the gym after masturbating. Is there science behind that? Sort of. Testosterone does play a role in muscle strength and recovery, but the temporary dip after ejaculation isn't significant enough to kill your workout. What does matter is energy and motivation. If you masturbated right before hitting the gym and you feel tired or unmotivated, that's going to hurt your performance. It's not the hormones, it's the behavioral and psychological state you've put yourself in. As for sexual performance with a partner, excessive masturbation, especially with a strong grip or overstimulation from content, can lead to desensitization. This makes it harder to get aroused or reach orgasm with a real person because your body has been conditioned to respond to a very specific type of stimulation. This is fixable, but it requires taking a break and allowing your nervous system to recalibrate. Let me give you the bottom line. Masturbation is a normal, healthy part of human sexuality when done in moderation. It's not going to destroy your testosterone or ruin your life if you're doing it occasionally and mindfully. But if you're stuck in a cycle of daily or multiple times daily use, especially driven by boredom, stress, or compulsion rather than genuine desire, it can lead to dopamine desensitization, low motivation, fatigue, and even performance issues. The good news is that all of this is reversible. Your brain is plastic. Your dopamine receptors can recover. Your energy can come back. But it requires honesty with yourself, intentionality, and sometimes taking a break to reset. Remember, the goal isn't perfection, it's balance. It's about having control over your habits instead of your habits controlling you. It's about optimizing your energy, your hormones, and your motivation so you can show up as the best version of yourself every single day. You don't need to feel shame about this. You just need to be aware and make choices that serve your long-term health and goals. If this video helped you understand what's really going on in your body, hit that subscribe button. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, small changes lead to big results. Stay consistent, stay aware, and take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next one.